The prologue to Avatar Fire and Ash really needs you to know that these two characters are brothers.
Whoa, bro! You're in my way, bro! It's cool, bro.
To the point that...
It's cool riding with you, bro.
Yeah, to the point that...
I gotta get back, bro.
To the point...
Little brother?
Oh, come on! These moments all come from the same 2 minutes in the prologue, and it's not over.
That's just you, little bro.
In fact, a whooping...
Love you, brother. I killed my brother.
A whopping 9 out of the 17 first lines of the movie, that's more than half, contains a reference to the fact that they're brothers. The choice to have these characters talk like American teenagers is certainly a choice. But here they even go further, by basically giving Loak a verbal tick. It is fine and even necessary to give quirks to your characters, but here the overuse of bro and
guys,
which by the way continues throughout the entire movie, risks cheapening the world building, and flying around in the skies of Pandora can suddenly feel like the pregame to a frat party.
Whoa, bro! You're in my way, bro! It's cool riding with you, bro. I gotta get back, bro. Little brother? That's just you, little bro.
The intention is clearly to remind the audience that these are Jake Sully's sons and that they are influenced by American culture, but it is a very fine line between maintaining story consistency and ruining the escapism that these moments are supposed to provide. The most egregious example of the movie not giving proper respect to its own world-building is with the character of Spider. When he realizes that he can breathe, the dialogue once again walks a fine line between character consistency and a straight-up lack of inspiration.
I'm breathing the air. I'm breathing the air! I'm breathing the air! I'm breathing the air! Yeah, I'm breathing the air, baby! Yeah! Bro, quiet!
And later, when Norm is amazed, Spider literally does not understand what the big deal is, and he says,
"Oh, yeah, I'm good on the whole air thing."
And sure, Spider has always been depicted as a short-tempered, naive boy, but still, even he should appreciate how deeply his life has changed. The movie went to the trouble of establishing that Spider used to live one battery away from death at all times, and wearing the mask constantly must have been awful. Yet he doesn't seem to care at all.
I'm good on the whole air thing.
And this deeply wounds the world building of Avatar by implying that Spider's struggle was never really that meaningful. He, of all people, should understand the burden of living with a helmet, yet he doesn't even grasp why Norm is surprised. And sure, it is Spider speaking, but saying that he's good on the whole air thing really makes it sound like the movie is taking the piss out of itself. It draws attention to the fact that humans not being able to breathe was an arbitrary constraint of the world, one that is now arbitrarily removed, just to give an arbitrary momentum to the story. And these are not the only examples of weird dialogue in the movie.
Yep, Icon, you're the man!
Look, can you carry him?
Yeah. Come on, bro. Push your right.
In both cases, these are clearly expressions from Earth. And again, you could explain it away by saying that Jake taught them these expressions. But that doesn't mean it's a good idea for the writers to use them. These little moments may be subliminal for most of the audience, but the whole point of the Avatar series is world building. And these choices of dialogue, with constant references to human society, unnecessarily narrow the scope of Pandora. What makes it even weirder is that the movie establishes that when the Na'vi talk to each other, they are not actually speaking English.
¿Quién celera?
Mawe. General Ardmore, I'd like you to meet Varang.
So when Loak says bro, he's not really saying it in English but in Na'vi, and it is the translation that has chosen to render whatever he said as bro, unless he's literally saying bro because he's added it to the Na'vi vocabulary. But is that really what the writers want the audience to be thinking about? Wouldn't it have been simpler to remove the bros altogether so we can better immerse ourselves in the world? And here, is Spider really saying
You're the man!
Or is he saying you're the Na'vi and it's being translated that way? And is he saying horse you ride? Or is he actually using another animal from Pandora and we are only hearing the human version? All in all, these moments feel quite pointless. At best they are invisible and subliminal, but at worst they are jarring. For a movie that's already well over 3 hours long, it feels like they could have literally cut these lines and made the world building feel more consistent. And we have to talk about Loak's voiceover.
The light always returns. We all connect with the Great Mother.
The idea behind having him as the narrator instead of Jake Sully like in the previous movies should be to expand the world by looking at it from a new angle. Yet at no point does Loak's personality really shine. He mostly ends up being used as an exposition dump, just like Jake Sully was.
The people say
New life
AWA will provide,
keeps the energy flowing
with no home, no hope.
like the breath of the world.
And that, too, reduces the scale of Pandora, because it kills the sense of mystery.
They also say, if you see the deep ones, the Seong, their spirits sent to judge you.
And makes it feel as if new species do not exist until they are needed for the story. Like Loak is reading the encyclopedia entry for the creatures just 2 seconds before they're introduced, and they're only there because we need them later to save the day. Even the wind traders conveniently appear when the Sullys need a ride, and then are discarded just as quickly. World building should be the strongest point of Avatar.
And there is a world out there. There's things that those suits will never understand. The Na'vi call it Kame, to see.
And yet there is a strange lack of mystery to it, because it feels like the elements of the world do not exist outside of their role in the plot. Like Toruk is presented as this almost divine figure, yet it's only to be tamed by Jake.
My dad knew in his heart there was only ever one path.
These are supposedly emissaries of the underworld there to judge your actions, but in practice they don't exist until they're needed. Even Awa isn't spared. The mysteries of Pandora should be the heart of Avatar, yet the voiceover creates the feeling that nothing is ever mysterious, because we'll always have someone exposition dumping everything at us.
They also say, if you see the deep ones, the Seong, then you should like and subscribe, because my bro did his best with this video, and he's really trying with the accent.